Welcome, welcome, everybody. Good afternoon and good evening. Good morning for Dave and Gabby and Marco and those in California. It is December 5th and we're starting the month. Mentor Mondays is going to be amazing. You don't want to miss any of the four because it has to do with the 4 steps to success. And they're simple and proven by our great mentor, Dave and Gabby Daughtrey. So today is step number 1, and get ready, get a pen if you don't have one yet, and start gathering all the notes that you can. But remember that this is already, and it has already been in the website, but this is now fresh and refreshed as it always is with all the new tools and all the new things that are coming. And Dave re-energized. So Dave, take it away. Let's go. Step number one, prepare.
Thank you, Claudia. If you want to get the full 4 steps which was my plan of action, it's nothing new. It's been my plan for probably the last 40 years since I started networking. And one of my mentors said, Dave, plan your work and work your plan. I thought, okay, well, what is it I'm going to be doing? Well, the first step, as Claudia mentioned, is I've got to prepare. And what made me think of prepare when I first wrote out this plan of action was there's a football coach, and I'm sure Marco will know him. His name is Vince Lombardi, and he was the coach of the Green Bay Packers. And he has a quote. He would say, it's not just the will to win, but the will to prepare to win. And he would take his football players at the beginning of the season and take them out to the field, the football field, empty stadium. No one's in the stadium. And he would basically tell them how the game is played. You see, you got this ball and you move the ball. Those are the lines on the field. Those are called yards. And you have to cross the ball. You have to cross the goal line and you're going to get 6 points. And you kick it through those posts right there and get another point. And the guys would be looking at him. The players would look at him like, do you think we're stupid? We've been playing this. We're professional here. Come on. And the whole purpose was he was trying to just get in their heads. Look, it's really all about preparation. All right. There are some things that we all know, and there's some things that we still have to learn. Now, I feel that we're constantly learning. All right. So, the first step here, when I say prepare, we're always preparing. I mean, the company came out with Gold Factor. All right. They came out with Immune Boost. They came out with a new NutriStart, a new Sleep Right. So we're constantly learning new things. Therefore, you have to constantly be preparing. All right. What are you preparing for? Well, you're preparing for success, number 1, but number 2, you're preparing to talk to people. That's what we get paid for. We get paid for one thing only. And that's what I love about this business. We get to all focus on one thing. Now, I understand that one thing might be something that many people are not accustomed to. Maybe they come from a different background where they don't, they're just not as social in their job and so forth. But if you're going to run a business and own a business, and we're talking business here, that's what Mentor Monday is about. We focus on the building of the business. All right. Well, if you're going to build a business, then you're going to have to change some things. You're going to have to become more social. You're going to have to declare yourself a bit of a leader. You're going to have to work with the person that you sponsor to help them be successful because through your preparation and your understanding of this business, you cannot succeed in this business by yourself. You have to help others. Now, you can sell product by yourself. You can go out and sell some transfer factor. You can sell some Pro-TF protein, some energy, and make a little bit of extra cash. I'm talking about building a global network so that you establish yourself financial freedom. All right. So step 1 in my plan is prepare. Step 2, which Claudia will be addressing next week, is prospecting. That's the lifeblood of the business. Nothing's going to happen unless you start prospecting. You can't sit back and not share with anybody and hope your business is going to grow. I understand there's social media and things like that, and they'll get into that next week, but the reality is there's 2 ways to communicate with people. You go to them, they come to you. That's it. There's no other way. All right. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to communicate with them. That means talking to them, establishing a relationship with them. All right. But prospecting is also something that we do regularly, no matter what level you're at. whether you're a platinum or you're just starting your business. All right. We all get paid to share a message with people. That'll be next week. The following week, it's about identifying. All right. That's step 3. And some people get confused when I talk identify. We had a meeting over the weekend, and the individual that discussed, because we discussed these 4 steps, who covered the identifying part, had nothing to do with what I have been training. So I hope that when we talk about identifying, you listen and understand what we mean by identifying. All right. Identifying is just simply, it's basically strengthening your odds to sign that person up or get them exposed and started on For Life, because you've identified that individual's needs. You see, if we identify people's needs, whatever they are, you're going to establish a friendship and you're going to establish trust, because that's the most important thing to them, their needs, whatever they are. And that's only going to happen through communicating, right? That's the 3rd week. The 4th week, and by the way, there's a whole, on identifying, there's a whole color scheme I use, which I've talked about many times, which is the green, yellow, blue, and red colors. And that would be the 3rd week. That helps identify people. And then the 4th week is going to be solidifying your business. Why do we do Mentor Mondays? Why do we have conventions and rallies? I just saw a picture of the event they had in Mexico last week, over the weekend. They had, Cloud, you see that picture? They must have had a couple thousand people at that event in Mexico City. They launched Gold Factor. So why is it that we do all of these things? Because it brings us together. This is a relationship business. You want to keep your relationships strong, and Jim Rohn, one of my favorite, motivational, or I should say business philosophers. He's motivating, but when he talks, he doesn't talk with a whole ton of energy. He just talks with a lot of common sense. And he told me one time in person, he said, "Young man, I don't know what company you belong to, but I want to give you a little advice." And I didn't even know who Jim Rohn was at the time, but I was mesmerized the first time I listened to him at a seminar. He told me, attend every meeting, every company event, every company rally, every company telephone conference call, convention that you can attend, because some will be life-changing. And you don't know which ones those are. So you attend all of them. So that's what the 4th week is about, solidifying your business, keeping it strong. So let's get back into prepare here. Preparing just doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with the person that you've also sponsored. For example, Marco is here with us today. I've recently brought Marco into the For Life family, and Marco and I have spent some time working together, preparing. I've been to his house. We sat down and went through the app. We've discussed a lot of the products, but Marco has also been very proactive about taking the time to learn ingredients, to learn benefits of the products, to understand the business model, because this is the first time he's done network marketing, although being a police captain, for a county here that is a huge county. I think there's like 4,000 officers in the division or department, but he already has the natural networking skills. You see, the natural leadership. You can't be a captain without establishing some leadership, abilities. And so really now it's a matter of, I call it plug and play, meaning that he plugs himself in, he learns, more about the model, and we just go to work. All right. Now, some people might have to spend more time preparing. Okay. Here's what preparation means to me. Okay. When I joined For Life, I did not have all the tools that we have today. There was no telephone app. There was no website. There was one small brochure that they had. It was like a 2-color brochure. All right. Kind of cheesy. I don't know if any of you remember, Cloudy. I don't know if you had gotten For Life yet. Kind of a almost an olive green color. That's back in the day where they had kind of an olive green. They've certainly changed things. They've brightened things up a lot. So, and everything we did was done through fax. Y'all remember fax machines? I still have one next to me right here. So we did everything through fax, getting information when we needed. But my greatest asset when it came to the products was Dr. Robertson and Dr. Townsend, because they're medical doctors. They understood transfer factor from a technical aspect, much better than I did. I called it trans factor at first. I didn't even say it right. And so preparing for me was gaining enough simple knowledge and understanding that I'm going to earn while I learn, just like you all. We earn while we learn. You don't want no one's going to know everything. And that's the beauty of this business. You don't have to go to school for 4 years. So just know enough so you can talk to someone sensibly. All right. So I planned, okay, the product. I got to tell people about transfer factor. So I got on, talked to Dr. Robertson a little bit, Dr. Dwayne Townsend, and they were so off the rails when it came to the product, because they're talking about T helper cells and natural killer cells and macrophages and cytokines and all this. And I'm like, whoa. I use the KISS method. Keep it simple and stupid. I'm going to be talking to the public. And I learned that to dine with the classes, you got to cater to the masses. And so to do that, I've got to talk in their terms. So I started talking about borrowed immunity, a mother giving birth to a baby, passing her immunity to the baby, acquired immunity, things like that. Now, I also understood that not everybody, addresses the immune system. When's the last time any of us called someone and say, hey, J. Michael, how you doing today? How's your immune system doing, by the way? Now, we don't do that, but let's say that J. Michael's trying to lose weight. I'd have no problem saying, hey, how's the weight loss program going? Something. But so vanity and things like that, pretty simple to talk about, especially amongst women, and women are just natural socializers anyways. But we had to figure out a way, how do you address the immune system? Well, for life, they've kind of made it a little easier for us now by including transfer factor in a lot of the higher impact products. In fact, a lot of the products now, and we focused on systems of the body. We can talk, when it comes to talking to people about product, we can talk about systems. Now, in private, sure, you could talk about diseases if you want. I have no problem with that. What the company doesn't like is when you post something on Facebook or Instagram and you say, hey, it's like our neighbor, whoever next door neighbor, stage 4 colorectal cancer, been using our products. She's now, in fact, just about completely cancer-free, completely gone. Tumors have disappeared. And it was serious. It had metastasized to her liver and so forth. So we're not going to post that on the internet. We'll get in trouble for that. All right. But if I'm talking to someone one-on-one, I have no problem sharing a story. All right. So in your preparation, you want to know your products. Today, we have a lot more products than when I started. So I understand that preparing can take longer. It's okay. Just pick out 1 or 2 or 3. We had a football player, American football, by the way, not soccer. He was a Super Bowl player for the Denver Broncos. Him and his wife are in for life. They were at our convention, and they both stood up at the convention and they talked for a minute and said they picked 3, I think it was 3 or 4 products, their favorite products. And those were their go-to products. Whenever they talked to anybody, that's what they shared at first. So pick whatever you feel comfortable with. Maybe it is energy. I love the energy. A lot of people drink Red Bull, Monster, 20 cups of coffee a day to get their energy. Here, we've got a wonderful, natural, all-natural product that also has transfer factor in it. Maybe it's the protein. Marco and I are going to go hit up some of the gyms here in San Diego, just go in and chat with the people and get them, looking at the protein or protein bars. Pick whatever works for you to start with, okay? But then take the time to learn maybe 2 or 3 products a week. Excuse me. Pick what products. Where do you get this information? Simple, you guys, right in your phone app. I don't even use the computer anymore, really, to get information now. I use the app. Everyone these days has a cell phone, and they can get internet access, and you can open up your app, and you can go to the media library, which is in your menu, and you can look up a product and look up the profile. In many cases, there's a video. There might even be a clinical study. Read it. Bread for the head. Knowledge creates confidence. Confidence creates more action. It's the action that creates the results, not the knowledge, the action. So in your preparation efforts, understand this is a journey. It's a marathon. So we're constantly learning about products, right? Then take the business side of it, the business model, all right? The pay plan. There are platinums in 4Life right now that don't understand the pay plan. Seriously. And it's okay. Their attitude was, you know what? I know that I've got to have 3 gold legs. If I go out and build 3 gold legs, I just know I'm going to get rich, make a lot of money. And that's what they did. All right. Now, me, I'm a bit more of an analytical person with the pay plan. I love analyzing, numbers and pay plans. And so I know it very, very well. Now, why do I feel it's important to know our pay plan? Well, you need to know the basics of it. All right. For example, if somebody were to ask you, what kind of pay plan is our pay plan? Does anybody here know? Raise your hand. I'm curious. Anybody know what our pay plan is? If somebody asks you, it's a hybrid. Okay. There's different names for pay plans. There's binary, there's unilevel, there's matrix, there's breakaway. Okay. Now they all have, their little pros and cons to them. Ours is a hybrid, meaning it's kind of a combination of a unilevel, which means you get paid on levels. And then there's also generations you get paid on. As you build new leaders in your group, which are presidential diamonds and above, you start getting paid on their entire organizations, a percentage, you see, and it goes very deep. So if somebody asks, it's a hybrid, and then you can tell them, but the basics are what's important in our pay plan, meaning that enroller and sponsor, what's the difference? I had somebody contact me over the weekend, and they said, look, I've got a problem. Enroller and sponsor, I don't understand. I had to explain to them what the enroller and sponsor was. In most cases, it's the same. You've enrolled them and you've sponsored them. Whereas, if you want to place somebody somewhere in your downline, you can enroll them and let someone else be the sponsor. And I do that now because as a platinum, sometimes it just makes sense. Okay. But you need to know things like that. Those are basics to know. All right. What about the builder bonus? Everyone needs to know the builder bonus. How do you get that extra bonus that's paid out globally? How do you get paid on global sales, global business that 4Life does? You may not even have anybody in Russia, or South Africa or Korea, but you can get paid on it. How? Get the builder bonus. 3. Everything in 4Life evolves around the power of 3. 3 key legs you need to get to platinum. 3 people enrolled on your front line that you've enrolled in the business that are on the loyalty program, to get the builder bonus. All right. So the power of 3. And speaking of the loyalty program, there's another one. You've got to understand that, prepare to know that. When you bring someone in 4Life, look at it almost like a gym membership. How many people join gyms and then they don't even go to the gym, but yet they pay their gym membership constantly? It's deducted from the credit card. Trust me, my family's, that's happened to some of our kids and so forth. All right. So when you sign someone up, thanks, sweetie, you want to get them on the loyalty program. All right. Now, here's the difference, though. People that don't go to a gym, there's no benefit in it. They're just wasting their money. Here in the loyalty, guess what they're going to get? Product. You want to expose them to the product and keep them using the product. So get them on loyalty. Don't depend on them to just place their own order. Now, I understand that in the emerging markets, Kenya and South Africa, the loyalty is a bit different. All right. They have to go and make their purchase by the 20th day of the month in order to get the loyalty. I understand that. But I also hope that your networks span beyond Kenya and South Africa, and you have people in other markets where you need to understand the loyalty and you get them on the loyalty, whether they're in the UK, whether they're in the USA or Canada. All right. Know the loyalty. So again, that's all part of preparing. All right. Now, what about the app, the cell phone app? Download that app. I just helped somebody again over the weekend, a gentleman from the Dominican Republic, lives in New York, signed him up. I got a new person. So congratulations to me. Got another one I'm working on as well that lives up in Modesto, California, trying to get her signed up. Kind of interesting. She right now we're just talking through WhatsApp. I'm leaving voice messages about the business, not yet done a actual call, but we'll see what happens. But the point is this: the gentleman from the Dominican, I went through and, well, just let me show you guys real quick. This is what I did. This is all part of the knowledge and the preparing through WhatsApp. His name is Manuel. Manuel and his wife is Joanna. So what I did was, first thing, I showed him the app, the 4Life app on the App Store. Second thing I did was made sure he had a catalog. So I sent him the 4Life catalog. And the third thing I did was I sent him a price list, which is right there. All right. Making sure that he knew all the prices. He had a catalog so that he could decide what products that he wants him and his wife to be on the loyalty program with. Okay. So you guys, this is more than just signing someone up. It's sitting down, taking the time to prepare. He's going to be on loyalty. He's going to choose his products, which he may have already done. He's going to do it yesterday. I have to follow up with him. But I am preparing him for success, you see. But how can I prepare him for success if I don't know where to find the catalog and I don't know where to find the price list? So you got to sit down and, close your door to your bedroom or office or whatever, and just isolate yourself for, an hour or two and browse through this stuff. All right. Go through the app a little bit, get familiar with it, learn it, memorize it. All right. That's all new to me. That's all new stuff. This app is new. I've got to learn it too. All right. That's all part of preparing so you can deliver that message. All right. Then there's the shop. All right. Understanding that many times as we prepare, we might understand something one way, but yet that's not the way it really is. I'll give you an example. I made a mistake. And I think I've already declared that, but I may not have. I'll have to declare it now with you guys. I made a mistake when I said that whenever you share the link from shop, you see there's a difference between my shop and shop. My shop, you can have favorites. You can have, favorite packages or groups of products that you can send out to people. And a favorite could be just one item if you want, but you name it. All right. And then the My Shop, you can send that to someone. It will track, whether they've opened it, whether it's converted into a sell, and so forth. I thought that shop, or tienda in Spanish, I thought that was for you, the distributor, to make your own purchase. I was wrong. Yes, it is. You can make your own purchase on that, but not in your markets. All right. Kenya, South Africa, you've got to use your local website. All right. I'm talking about the app. So let me clarify. The app is designed to be used for knowledge, of course, in any place you live, any place. But when it comes to building a business and sharing media and content, it's designed to do that when it comes to purchasing. If it's just sharing information, wonderful. Share all over the place, Kenya, South Africa, wherever. But when it comes to making purchases and having it translate into life points, it only works in corporate markets. You can look in the app and you can see what countries that app works in when it comes to buying product. All right. But shop, you can indeed share a link. You can pick any product in shop and send that product to someone like Marco. He can send that, let's say Gold Factor. He's going to send Gold Factor to a friend that he knows back east. If that friend makes a purchase of the Gold Factor, then Marco will get the 25%. The app is smart. It knows the difference between when you make a purchase and you share a link. The app knows the difference. All right. So I didn't realize that. I thought Marco would be giving up his 25% if he sent someone a link from shop. Wrong. I was wrong. You can send it and you will get the 25%. So now you've got the entire catalog of product that you can go through. And if you know someone, let's say you've got someone that's having some COVID challenges still with their breathing, and they live in Ohio, Tricia, and you say, okay, you know what? I want to send them this lung product. You can send them, all right, the link from lung, just find lung. It's right in there. Send them the link, the product profile. If they make a purchase, you will get 25%, all right, paid. So all of these things are part of preparing, understanding them and knowing them. All right. So The other part of preparing is practicing, practicing, practicing. And one of the things that I want to do coming up here next year is we're going to have little boot camps. They'll only be an hour long, but they're going to be interactive, where I'm going to basically be, pretending that I'm signing one of you up and asking, and we're just interacting, and they'll ask some questions. For example, what are the benefits of this business, right? When I prepared, I wrote down on a piece of paper, I'm going to be talking to people about this business model, all right? The business of networking. A lot of people out there in this world don't understand networking, all right? This business, okay? They might understand the social network, Facebook and all that, but they don't understand network when it comes to marketing, when it comes to making a living, earning an income, the benefits of it. So sit down, write the benefits on a piece of paper. I like writing them simply because it makes you remember, as opposed to, you can type them on a computer, whatever, but don't try to commit it to memory the first time when you hear it. Write it down. All right. What are the benefits of networking? Working from home, having your own schedule, your own time schedule. All right. Multinational. You can build your business in many, many countries. Working with a team. You got a team of people that you work with. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. Every one of you will get your own income, your own for-life commission. It doesn't go to me and then I, take care of it. No, everyone gets their own. You can all see it on forlife.com. Everybody can see what the commissions are in the report. All right. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You're with a team of people, and working with a team means that you've got support, you've got motivation, you've got, influence, all of that with the team. All right. What about residual income? Getting paid for what you start. That's one of my favorite quotes, by the way. Learn to get paid for what you start. And that creates curiosity if someone asks you, what are you doing? I don't have a problem telling people I'm in a business where I get paid for what I start, not just what I do. They're curious. Well, what's that? What do you mean you get paid for what you start? Yeah, I'm earning an income from my efforts from 24 years ago. I still get paid today, and a lot of money, by the way. So the point is understanding that you can build a residual, I'm not trying to boast or brag, but it's true that we've been on this Zoom call now for just over 30 minutes. Somewhere around the world, someone has bought a For Life product, and I've made money from that. Last night when I was sleeping, somebody bought a For Life product, maybe in Malaysia, Korea, other side of the world, and I earned a residual income. That's a good thing. That's what everybody should be doing, earning an income, as you build your business, getting paid for what you start, a residual income. So that to me is one of the greatest benefits, of course. What about legacy? When most people they quit working and they retire, they might have a pension of some sort. But what happens when they expire? When they're gone? What do they leave behind for their family, their prosperity? I'll never forget Dexter Yeager. Dexter Yeager, he passed away recently, was with Amway. He left $1 million monthly income to his family. Imagine that, $1 million a month. Obviously, that's more than what's needed. But the point is, he left a legacy for his family. So many times I tell people, do this, start out doing it for yourself, but in the end, do it for your family. Do it for your prosperity, the ones you care about, the ones you love. Leave something behind. All right. So now here's one that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to benefits of this business. I wrote this down when I was, preparing my plan. This is the world's greatest personal development course there is, bar none. You can go listen to Tony Robbins and spend $10,000 on a seminar. You can go listen to someone else that pumps you up. I see some of them, even the Kenyans. I forget her name, a lady, and it's really good. I see them on WhatsApp. I think Dr. Ogina or Jesse or somebody posts motivational speakers. That's all awesome. But I consider a lot of that stuff like helium. Y'all know helium is, right? You fill a balloon up with helium, where does it go? Up. What happens when the helium wears off? Where does it go? Back down. Okay. Whereas here with us, you have that the constant meeting, getting together. So you're constantly being filled with information. all right, that keeps you inspired, keeps you going, all right? So this is the world's greatest personal development course there is, because you're always associated with other people that help drive you. They help, we're here to help each other build and grow, okay? And how many of you spent $10,000 to get here today? Nobody, all right? So we don't make money teaching people this business, all right? The money's made in building the business, all right? The residual income from people using our products. So again, personal development course, I feel this is the greatest. But you know what? Where's the greatest teacher? You can sit back and you can listen and listen and listen and listen. Like Dr. Ojina, all right? He's a doctor, okay? Now, I'm sure he practiced as well, but if you were to go have heart surgery, would you prefer a doctor that sat 15 years in a class without at all stepping foot into an operating room? Or would you rather go to someone that might have practiced been 10 years in class and 5 years actually practicing in the operating room? I take the second one that had some practice in the operating room. Same here, you guys. The greatest teacher is out there, all right? The whole preparation part is to get you to a point where you're like, you know what? I've spent 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days, don't get in analysis paralysis. All right. You don't want that. You want to be enough that you know that you can talk to someone and make some sense talking to them. All right. And if you feel like when you talk to them, you messed up, welcome to the club. I can't tell you how many times I've messed up. I said the most stupidest thing sometimes when I was presenting. I was talking in Spanish one time and I told everybody I was pregnant. I even did it this last week by accident. I don't know what in my head, for some reason, I say embarazado when I try to say embarrassed. Embarazado. I keep thinking it means embarrassed. It means pregnant. So when I say I am embarrassed, I'm saying I'm pregnant. All right. I've said the most stupidest things sometimes talking to people. Doesn't matter. I laugh at myself and go back and you learn. So the point is this: the more you share, the more you talk, the better you're going to get. That's the bottom line. That's the way it is. So you just start working with people that you know. Now, I practiced, okay, I'm going back to practicing. I practiced on my family, my dad, my mother, my grandma. I called them up and said, look, I'd like to present this to you so I can practice a little bit. I even told them. Now, we did a call last night for the English group in going over our calendar. And Jennifer Martinez, who's back in Florida, she's a gold international diamond. First time in network marketing, gold, awesome story. She said that what she would do with her people is they'd get together and practice in her house. People locally, they'd get together and they'd say, okay, it's your turn, you present. You got 10 minutes. Tell me about ForLife. Tell me about the product. How do you make money? And that person in 10 minutes practiced. Those are things I want to do on these Zoom calls as well. All right. But again, there's preparing yourself by yourself, but then the person you sponsor, like again, I go back to me and Marco, you prepare with that individual. So how many of you have a sponsor that hasn't even taken the time to go over your plan with you, to go over your goals with you, your purpose? Why are you doing this? Why are you in ForLife? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What do you want to achieve? All right. And then take it a step further. What do you know about the business? Are you experienced at networking? A lot of people are. They bring to the table experience. They bring to the table a big circle of influence. They know a lot of people, and they know a lot of people that are in like middle class or upper class. People that have money, or people that might be in the middle class that are struggling right now because of a recession. Maybe they were in real estate and the market tanked, or they were in some sort of technology and it tanked, and they're looking for something new. So, when you're preparing with someone, take the time to go over with them. What is their goal? Where do they want to be at the end of 3 months, 6 months, a year? Okay. Because you as the sponsor, it's also, if you want to succeed, remember, you got to climb the mountain with someone. You can't climb it by yourself. If you found someone you're going to climb the mountain with, you work together with them. You sit down with them, you go over these things, all right? And then share with them what yours are. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? All right. It's about partnering with someone. I've always said, you're going to count on one hand, your lifelong leaders that you bring in this business that are with you for life. No pun intended, but they're with you for the rest of your life. All right. And those are the ones that you bond with. It's almost like a marriage. Sometimes you even might get in an argument with them, you know, because you guys have spent 10, 15, 20 years working together. All right. But, you know, let's face it, we're all adults here. We know how to, and we know this is a relationship business. So you keep that in mind. Humility, you know, being patient, you know, working, adapting to whoever you're working with, those things. Okay. But the point is this, seriously, how many of you have a sponsor that has actually gotten with you, whether it's on a Zoom call or sat down personally at the office and said, let's go over our goals and let's do this regularly. All right. So that we know, you know, how many prospects we've approached, how many presentations we've given, you know, have we got the builder bonus, if that's in our goal, have we got to diamond, whatever those goals are, a plan of action. And it can even be, how many hours a week are you going to invest into your future, into yourself, into your business? You know, maybe you can only invest, you know, 5 to 10 hours a week. Maybe it's full time, ready to go right now. I can invest 80 hours a week because this is all I'm going to be doing. You don't know that unless you sit down and come up with a plan preparing with the person who sponsored, all right? And the person who sponsored you. So, you know, reach out to the person who sponsored you and said, look, sponsor, we didn't even put a plan together. You know, what are we doing here? You know, are we like the wind blowing around wherever, or we're going to have some direction, all right? So, and then do that with your downline. So again, summing up, preparing, look, again, this only takes a couple of days. If you're new to the business, getting your plan, your business plan together, and then start getting that knowledge, okay? Memorizing things like the benefits of this business, your transfer factor, recognize, respond, remember threats, the 3 R's of transfer factor, maybe learning the gold factor. You know, I found it fascinating learning about telomeres, you know, learning that we all have these chromosomes with little tails on them. And what causes aging is the degradation, the shrinking or shortening of these little tails called telomeres, you know, and if you could delay the degradation of telomeres, you can delay aging. You can feel young and look young a lot longer because you're aging much slower. Gold factor does that. All right. So who would like to age much slower? Who would like to prevent degenerative diseases, you know, and not have the effects of aging? I'm one of them, me for sure, you see. So how did I know this? I took the time to learn, to prepare, to read, you know, about the product, to listen. And that's another way, by the way, if you guys want to get bread for the head information, make sure that you're on the For Life USA official, it's called. There's not even For Life in there. It doesn't even say For Life. And I asked Nathan, by the way, why did you guys put USA official? And he didn't put For Life. And he said, well, because we say things sometimes that could possibly get us in trouble, but because it doesn't say For Life on there, we can't. And so I got a kick out of that. He doesn't, you know, that way it's a little different today, but the point is this, is that it's USA official. Dr. Brent Vaughn gets on there. There's stuff that's, you know, the company talks about. Join the Facebook group USA official. Okay. And that's another thing too, in preparing, that I have to spend time learning now. I'm not Instagram savvy. You know, Gabby had to show me how to, you know, put a link on Instagram. I had to play with that. And I've been putting links up there, you know, so people can see under story, they can click on a BOGO and it goes to my shop. All right. And that's not my way of networking necessarily, it's just kind of fun doing it. My way of networking is talking to the person, developing a friendship, then developing trust with that person. And this would be next week's topic, but getting into their circle of people, OPP. Marco's a good example. All right. In fact, Marco, I'm going to unmute your mic here real quick. So Marco, this is kind of an interesting story. I'm going to tell part of the story, Marco, then you can jump in. Okay. Marco put on his Facebook For Life. And generally I tell people, create curiosity. Don't just put for life and tell everyone what you're doing yet. Create curiosity. Like I just found something that prevents aging, or I just found, and it contains nanoparticles. Some people are like, well, what is it? But he put for life, and someone actually reached out to him and said, tell me about this for life. All right. And who was that, Marco?
Rachel.
And so what did Marco do? Marco contacted who? Me.
Simon Dave.
And then what did we do, Marco, with Rachel?
We got her on a Zoom call, and we just kind of guided her, and on her own, pretty much, she went ahead and signed up, and she's excited about it.
And did she get on loyalty?
She did.
So she's on the loyalty program as well, So, this is stuff you can do all day long, meeting people. People know people. See, so what's happening now is Rachel's not my person. Marco knew her. All right. In fact, they go to the same church together, and they've been talking about the congregation. How big is that congregation at that church?
And it's huge, David. I only go to one service, but it's considered a mega church. It's an evangelical mega church. It's 3 blocks long. You've seen it. It's massive. So
I'd venture to say thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, I would say probably closer to 5,000.
5,000. And what does Rachel do for a living?
She actually works at the church, and she was doing a little bit of network marketing with one of those lotion stores, the Body Shop or Body Lotion. But she was doing it on a really low level. She was more doing it just to get the discount.
Right, just to get some product to use for herself.
Yeah, just to get some product. And that's when she said that, I said to her, Rachel, you're leaving, and I used one of your terms, you're leaving money on the table, because that's great if that's all you want, but there's so much more out there. If you're already putting in the work, just take it a few more steps and make something from it. So.
Right. And so Rachel, working at the church, she probably knows the number of people at the church.
She does. And that's where I'm trying to kind of guide her and provide her a little bit of direction and motivation, because she's very likable. She's just an amazing human being. She's just a really decent person. But I think she has to hone in that skill to get people hooked, and that takes a minute sometimes for some people.
And that's where we come in. I mean, if we can just get her to say, you know what, yeah, I know a lot of people. I'll go ahead and plant some seeds and see who I can bring to the table. And so all of a sudden, as she brings people to the table, you find yourself busy doing 2 major things. Okay. Again, this would go into Claudia next week with prospecting, but now you're talking with Rachel to her people, and you're still talking to your people, which is a big circle of people that you know. So now you're doing these 2 things going on. You're like the guy in the circus spinning 2 plates. Talking to Rachel's people with Rachel, talking to people from myself, and pretty soon you got another one signed up, and they know people. Now you're talking with them, their people, Rachel's people, and you're looking for new people yourself. Pretty soon you're like the guy in the circus running around spinning a bunch of different plates, because you're working with your downline. You're still looking for people for yourself. You're establishing that base, looking for those 5 or less, maybe 3 key people that are the ones that change your life forever. And those are the ones that end up becoming your golds and platinums, you see? So there's no mystery to this business plan. That's just how it works, all right? But you've got to take action and do it. And people tend to take more action if they're prepared for it. And so that's why I talk about preparing. Maybe did I get kind of, for some reason, my camera, I got this really expensive computer, but the camera on it is probably the cheapest part. But anyhow, sometimes I look like I'm in the dark. So the point of preparing, again, you guys, is it's constant, it's ongoing, always learning. All right, what's going on? And that's why we continue to do these Zoom calls. So what I'd like to do is open it up now. We've got a few more minutes. Anybody have any questions at all about preparing, about plan of action? All right, the theme that we talked about today. Any questions at all? Just raise your hand. Claudia, if you want to jump in real quick.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Trisha is a young one, and we've got somebody else here Oh, North Carolina. Okay.
Yes, Dave, I want to acknowledge Presidential Damaris. Dr. Damaris has come in for the first time. I've invited her. I met her at convention. She was in your English training. So if she can take off her mic and maybe say hello to us, I think she's presidential, or are you bronze? I apologize. I didn't ask you, Damaris, your title. I'm sorry. But Damaris is an amazing leader, great. She is partners with Dr. Francisco, who you met in the last time he came into our Zoom. So Dr. Damaris, do you want to say hi to the team?
Of course. Hi, thank you. I am Damaris Cortez, and you make me laugh. Está embarazado.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no word that happened to me in English. So it's amazing. Thank you for all the tips that you're sharing with us. And somebody in Philippines that she's gonna, join my group in North Carolina, and all those tips are gonna be helping me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gracias.
Yeah, the Philippines, by the way, the one benefit of all the traveling that Gabby and I have done, we've been to every country where For Life has business. I think including Mongolia. Never thought I'd go to Mongolia, but I've been there a couple of times. But Philippines, I've been there many times. And so we establish a friendship with the general managers. And Eileen Tan is I would say, probably, if not the best, one of the best general managers we have in the world, because she's so distributor friendly. She gets out there and does rallies they call them road shows. She does road shows. So you want to make sure that you go on the Philippines Facebook page and look and see what's going on in the Philippines. Because if they're doing a road show in the area where your new prospect can go there, get them signed up first. Don't send them to a road show unless they're signed up. Okay, let's face it, you never know what could happen. You don't want them signing up somewhere else. So get them signed up first, but get them to the road show. And you can even put a post in on the Facebook. Hey, I've got somebody going to the road show. If anyone wants to welcome, I don't know their name. And she's the kind of person that would do that. She'd say hi to that person for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Gracias.
But I love the Philippines. It's a great market. Sweetie, all right, you got your hand up. So I'm going to pass it over to Gabby. She's going to help close us out today.
Okay, thank you so much. Everyone's input and Dave's training is there's always something new to learn. I wanted to remind those that are in the United States that we have our promo gummies, our Real Vida gummies. Right now you buy 4 for $81.
Those things are addicting, by the way. I can eat a whole bottle.
They are very, very good. This is like the dots. Remember the dots we had before? It's a temporary product. Now, I did ask Nathan if they're going to have them long term, and he said it just depends on how many people buy them and what the feedback is on them. So make sure that if you are on the when they broadcast and teach us stuff on the For Life, I think it's, oh my gosh, what's it, the Facebook page they use?
USA Official. USA Official.
Okay, USA Official, that you make comments, even if they're not talking about the Real Vida gummies, but just say, hey, we love the Real Vida gummies. But right now, because it's a launch month, all month long, the promotion is going to be on until they sell out. So make sure you grab as many 4-packs as you want. There's no limit right now. And remember, we also have the chews. These are good too. I love carrying these in my purse because even though I'm not sick, there's always that little cough you might get at the store or at a restaurant, and you just do not want to cough in front of people these days. They'll look at you like you have the plague. And lately, I've been reading a lot about dehydration, and usually what the cure for dehydration is, first thing in the morning, take a warm glass of a warm cup of water. You add a little bit of Himalayan salt and some lime or lemon. But better yet, if you have Real Vida sticks, you can sweeten your tea with these. You can sweeten just about anything you drink, like either cold or hot. So just keep that in mind. Use this as a sweetener instead of sugar or artificial sweetener. And last but not least, I want to, for those of you writing down quotes or notes or anything, I want to share 4 quotes with you. And I like these quotes because they're very, they're very good for our business. So the first one is, people join because of great vision. People leave because of poor leadership. So again, people join because of great vision. People leave because of poor leadership. And the next one is, people lose their way when they lose their why. Okay, my why in joining the company is because I saw the way the classic product, the only product we had with transfer factors when we joined 4Life, made a difference in the health of my husband and my children. I mean, it was miraculous for me to see the changes in their health. And that was my why. From then on, we grew. And Dave did too. Dave saw that. I mean, not having to deal with Crohn's is a big thing. So people lose their why when they lose their, no, people lose their way when they lose their why. The third quote is, if you want to lead, you need to grow. Good leaders are always good learners. Again, if you want to lead, you need to grow. Good leaders are always good learners. And the fourth one is, great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. The great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team of people. You know, Dave and I didn't get to platinum by ourselves, okay? We have you to thank for that. So your success is our success. And that's why we're doing these calls. We all participate in teaching everyone what we've learned, how it works for us. Claudia does not do her teaching the same way I do or Dave does. We all have our way, and that's very good. What works for you may not work for someone in other parts of the world. So just keep that in mind. And don't compare your success to our success, okay? We all grow differently. Some people made it to platinum in 2 years. Some people made it to platinum in 5 years. Just depends. You just have to use the tools that you have on hand, the company tools, the trainings, the Zoom calls, the one-on-ones, the conventions, the meetings. We all have that opportunity. And like Dave said earlier, we don't have to go to a Tony Robbins event. It's nice though, you can network, but you don't have to spend a couple $1,000s to attend those meetings. If you have it and you want to go, do it. But you're learning a lot from those people that are doing it here in 4Life, that are working 4Life, that it's work, that they're growing. And I admire all the teams that do get together and work together, because like I said, we can't get to platinum alone. We can't. And I've seen people try, and you know how far they get? They don't even get to diamond. Okay, they don't want help, and we need each other. We really do. So convention is in what, another 16 months now? And let's prepare to attend our next convention, because it is really, really, it's really good to be with people that, even though you may not know them, that are from other parts of the world. Get to know your affiliates from other countries, from other downlines. It's just fun. And we want to see you there. We want to spend time with you. It was so fun to see Claudia and our affiliates that we had not seen them in over 3 years because of the pandemic. So I want to see you at convention in person. I want to be able to take pictures with you. And with that, thank you so much. We love you. It's a new month. Let's hit some records here. Let's hit some records in talking to people and sharing our product. Thank you.
For me, December has always been a great month. I don't know why, but maybe it's because there was a time where people told me to just leave everybody alone in December. Nobody wants to talk business because everyone's in the Christmas spirit. But I thought, you know what? Everybody's in the giving spirit. You know, everyone's open-minded. Everyone's, you know, they're just out. It's just a very fun, happy time. And I've sponsored some of my best people in the month of December. You know, I've got platinum, you know, and there's even another one that's a platinum that I didn't sponsor, but I helped sponsor, that was in the month of December. So one thing I want to show before we close out, because we got 1 minute left. I made a mistake. I said USA official. It's not USA official. I'm showing my screen right now. Let me know if you can see my screen, Claudia or Gabby.
Yes, got it.
Okay. It's actually, it's called US Sales Team. So if you type U.S. Sales Team, you're going to get the US for life. This is the one where you kind of want to, you know, you want to join it and just pay attention a little bit what's going on, because this is where you're going to get just a lot of content. Like there's Dr. Brent Vaughn right there. All right. So this is just a real good one, again, to get knowledge, bread for the head. All right. Every now and then there will be an interview, you know, with a platinum or a gold, you know, but Nathan Larson and Jade and Trent Tenney run this. And that's them right there. Nathan, of course, Jade is in the middle. Nathan's there on the left and Trent Tenney's on the right. So US Sales Team, put a dot, U.S. Sales Team. And that will take you to the For Life US group. So there we are. Thanks, everyone. Let me stop sharing. Appreciate y'all joining in today. All right. Set your goals, get out, keep preparing. All right. And number 2, prospecting. Claudia will be going over that next week. I'll be back east, back in Boston. And so again, thanks everyone. We love you guys. Let's open the mics and let's, all right, let's hear some noise. All right, let's get out there.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Good night.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Claudia.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Goodbye, Monday again. Let's do it.
Just give back.
Continue to share our company's
Everybody goes
opportunity.
back.
Great training.
Bye,
Thank you.
Annalise. Bye, Manita, Adriana. Besito. Bye, Gabby. Bye, Michael.
Bye, guys.
Claudia.
Bye.
I'm going to text you right now, Jane Michael.
Naomi, Claudia.
Bye, bye, Janet. Colombia. Bye, bye. Bye, Doctor.
Nos vemos más tarde.